That was good, Pastor.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
You do quick work and you just watch
the
this.
Most, we do thank,
yes,
as we always say, all praises to the Most High, Ahayah, bahashem, Yashayah, the Holy Spirit, and that set apart Holy Spirit, the Kudash Ruach.
That's right. She's the one that sets us apart from the world. She comes wooing, gentle, like a woman, right? She don't force nobody, right? That's a woman. Does a woman force?
Nope. The lesson tonight, the awakening of Israel. We've been in a series about this. This is our 24th lesson on this. The awakening of Israel, part 24. All right. So when you deal with the awakening of a nation that have been separated from their identity for 400 years. Now think about that. 400 years of oppression, of lynching, of brutality, of state-sanctioned racism, and institutional religious racism installed on the plantation. All right, so, and we do, as we always say, why we open up like we do, without the Most High showing us this and we're going to show you historical evidence and evidence about what we teach, as we always do. We got a lesson, and we're going to show all. We're going to let it all hang out, as we always do. The Bible first, then history. Yes. What does history say? Does history confirm what we teach? And you'll see that history always confirms what the Bible teaches, but correct history, not taught through a whitewashed ideology of white supremacy.
That's right. That's right.
What we get through religion, starting with the Roman Catholic Church and all her whore daughters, the Christian religion, came right out of Rome. Why do you think, everyone out there, that whenever you see a movie, it's all white people? Think about it.
Excuse me.
Really sit there and consider.
How about the books?
Wait,
Christian books, right?
We're going to go into the Bible.
Christian children books, right? All white people. Never the children of the Most High.
So the first scripture I want to show, put your marker there.
Right,
go to the book of Deuteronomy 32.
Deuteronomy 32.
Deuteronomy.
Let's break it down.
32, verse 7 and 8. Deuteronomy 32, 7 and 8.
So let's say this. We are totally blessed that our pastor is here.
Our brother and
sister in the Most High. They have recently just come into this understanding that's as old as the Bible. This is something not new. King Solomon said, "What, Josh? There's nothing new.
The fire's lit, and we're going to keep fanning it.
That's it. That's it.
That fire is going to burn.
Awesome, Josh.
We're gonna make it burn tonight. If you don't like the truth, this is the wrong channel for you. We don't deal with philosophy. We don't deal with emotion.
Men's opinion.
We deal with what the Most High, Ahayah, and the Bible say.
What the Word says, not what we guess and try to twist what it says.
Deuteronomy 32, 7.
All right, Deuteronomy 32.
Let's see what the Most High say.
Verse 7. All right, everybody have it? Remember the days of old.
Do what?
Remember.
No, let someone tell you it doesn't matter.
Remember.
No, let the religion of Christianity tell you it don't matter.
Remember the days of old.
So the Israelites were always supposed to remember their history, their lineage, their forefathers.
That's right.
Remember the days of old. Read.
Okay. Consider.
Do what?
Consider.
Forget.
Consider.
It doesn't matter.
Consider.
No, that's the Old Testament.
Consider.
Consider. Read.
The years of many generations.
So the Israelites were always supposed to keep in their mind who they were. Now what happened? 400 years of slavery, 400 years of oppression, 400 years of state-sanctioned religious indoctrination and lies has separated the vast majority of the children of Israel from their God by design, by America.
That's right.
It's all set up.
That's right. Ask thy father.
The what?
Ask your father.
So the fathers were supposed to teach the children their lineage and their history.
But they fell.
But
that's right.
Then the children would pass that on to their children, children's children. Now, what happened after slavery? All slave habits: serve the master,
eat pork,
eat unclean food,
white man's language,
go to church on Sunday,
pagan. That's right.
Easter,
right.
Pagan.
That's right.
Christmas,
that's right.
Pagan.
Thanksgiving,
pagan. Halloween,
pagan.
Definitely satanic.
And it might hurt some people. I'm sure it won't if you want truth. Most of the military is pagan too. You are not supposed to shoot guns off to the dead. That's Memorial Day, and
that's divination and necromancy.
That's necromancy and divination.
You're not supposed to honor or look at the dead.
Can I tell them why? Because you don't know they're there.
First
Nobody knows they're there until we get there and stand before the Most High.
Even if that's worse, so the Bible says it's evil, so don't do it.
Right. Okay. But that's another whole lesson, brothers and sisters who are listening and Pastor tonight. We have infallible proof. We know for a fact now that most of the military people now are Puerto Rican and Afro-American. Most of them. Now, why are they in this service more than anybody else?
Because they want them dead. Or mentally screwed up.
That's right. This is deep. This thing runs deep, deep, deep. This thing runs deep, these lies. But everybody who is listening, and we know we have thousands of viewers, listen, it's never too late. If you're in doubt, stay in the Word. Don't listen to people. Stay in the Word. Study to show yourself approved. To the Most High, not to men.
So let's finish.
Not seminaries. Cemeteries.
Okay. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Ready? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will show you. The elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High divided.
When the who?
When the Most High, he did it, divided to the nations their inheritance.
So the Most High was the one who, if you want to say, the Most High originated segregation.
Okay.
The Bible just said it. The Most High originated what we call segregation.
That's right. Now watch
for
this.
The purpose of protecting the children of Israel from the other nations.
That's right. When he separated the sons of Adam.
When he did what?
Separated.
When man separated.
Watch this. We got a call, folks and listeners, viewers. This brother came against us on YouTube and said, "Why are you teaching separation?" I said, the whole Bible is separated. That's why we're teaching it. We're teaching what the Bible says. And
it's not racial. Agreed. It's not about race.
No,
the Most High separated the children of Israel because
you're special.
He did not want them, the other nations, or the Satan particularly, who is the God of the nations.
That's right.
To mislead them or make them reverence Him.
When He separated the sons of Adam, He set the bounds of the people.
What? He set the what?
He set the bounds no further.
No, He divided the nations according to the what?
The people. According to the number of Christianity.
Of the what?
Children of Wednesday night service.
Of the children of who?
Israel.
So God looked at the children of Israel and separated all the nations according to their number. Okay? So
this is awesome. Pastor, read 9.
For the Lord's portion is His people.
No, it's everybody.
Jacob.
No, say it again. Is His people.
His people.
No, everybody.
His people.
Go ahead, brother.
Jacob is the lot.
Oh, wow. So your inheritance is now you're connecting back, everybody that's listening tonight. You're connecting back to your real inheritance.
So Jacob,
who you are now.
Israel sums up the whole possession of the Most High's heart.
There you go. That's right, Jacob. He found him in a desert land.
Stop.
Okay.
So we understand the Most High's inheritance is His people, not everybody.
That's right. Not even mine, not even Josh's, Mary's, Tony's. But like I said again, we're going to say it again and over again. If you're willing, if you're Caucasian and you love the Most High and you know what we're preaching right, I know many white people are, you're following us. If you keep the law, the Sabbath, the holy days, and get rid of these holidays that you're serving, you have an outside chance like we do now to come into the kingdom and to serve under Israel, under Christ.
Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
Deuteronomy what?
7:6.
7:6.
Deuteronomy 7 verse 6.
All right, 7:6. Go back. Yeah,
so
we're going to be blessed tonight.
The devil has set up a world where
Come on.
His ideology and his philosophy is being taught. That is why nobody really is interested in the word of the Most High.
I want to say something real quick, Josh. Wait, he's right. Listen to my son. Look at this. When I confront people out there in the marketplace, and I talk to a lot of people, they always want to say that I'm being prejudiced, that the Bible's for everybody. I said the Bible is not for everybody.
Not in that way
Not in that way. Yeah, I mean, sin, certain scriptures, yes, but not the Bible itself is a black man's book directed to his people.
And if that makes you angry, this is
then
a long
you shouldn't
channel.
listen to us. But we have,
Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's see what the Bible says.
All right, ready? Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people.
Everyone is a holy people.
You are a holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath what? Chosen thee.
What?
Chosen.
Has what?
Chosen.
What is Israel?
Chosen.
Chosen.
Thee to be a what? Special people.
Not inferior,
himself.
not in below, but special.
Above what?
What? Above?
Beneath.
Beneath.
Equal.
Equal.
Above all
people
that are upon the face, the flat earth of the earth.
The face
you
of
understand
the earth. Now that just said a lot.
And that's only two
Hold
scriptures.
On. Because
I always wondered, Joshua, why I didn't have these. They didn't give us these scriptures in church.
I want to show everybody some. We're going to share something right fast. We'll put us back on the screen. But I want to show y'all some Google images. Before we go to Psalms 83, go to Job 26.
Job 26.
Job 26 and 5. We destroy all illusions of the devil on this channel.
Yeah, we do. Amen.
We're going to tackle a big one right now. Hold on.
26:5. Okay.
Because the Spirit of the Most High.
Can I have a pen? You reach over
see
there?
what?
Thanks,
see.
Hold on. Again, John. Okay.
See, the Spirit leads where, and you have to follow wherever it leads. Because we just read about the face of the earth, right? What is a face, right? A face is a flat surface, right?
Yeah, but don't, Josh. Josh, that's another time. Come on.
Because no, we've been read.
Oh, you've been talking. All right, hold on. All right, Job 26, verse 5. Yeah, because we got it all on YouTube on here. Dead things are formed from under the waters.
From under the waters.
And the inhabitants thereof.
Uh-huh.
Hell is naked before him.
So
destruction.
The Most High can see the.
Are you staying on this? Is this part of this thing tonight? Okay, good.
I just want to throw this out there, so
sure.
In case we have new viewers, they know what the earth looks like.
Yes, that's right.
So, okay, I'm gonna show.
Check this out, Stella.
So the Bible says that the earth or hell is naked before the Most High. Why? Because hell is underneath the earth. How can you have an underneath earth on a globe?
You see that?
See, read.
Okay, ready?
What verse are you on?
Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering.
Uh-huh.
He stretcheth out the north over the empty place.
He does what?
He stretches. How can you stretch out something that's round? He stretches out
Look.
the north over the empty.
He stretches out the north flat.
This is awesome.
Then there's the sun.
Yo, we've been duped.
And see what's in the background. The UN flag.
Look at that.
Everybody in the earth knows the earth is not round.
See? And they'll throw it out there for you to see it. If you don't see it.
Wow. Hold on. We keep reading.
And this is not a metaphor. This is not a deception, nothing. He hangeth the earth upon nothing.
Right. Hold on. He hangeth the earth upon nothing.
That's how we look right now, Stella. Look at that.
Read.
Watch that. He binded it up the waters in his thick clouds.
That's the clouds.
That's the dome. We're under a dome.
That's this. Read.
And the cloud is not rent under them.
Read.
He holded it back the face of his throne.
Read.
And spreadeth his cloud upon it. Awesome.
Read.
He had compassed the waters with bounds.
He has what?
He has compassed the waters with bounds.
Now, we've all read these scriptures once or twice. What does it mean that the Most High has compassed the oceans with a bound? What is the compass around the earth? The Antarctic.
The Antarctic.
That is where the earth ends.
Oh, all right, brother.
Right there, the ice
brother,
wall.
you were in the military, right?
Right.
They never told you, right?
Sure did. All they said was going to Antarctica. So that's where it is.
Yes, sir.
Well,
wait. Who's that lady that took that plane, Tony?
Man.
You found out it ended, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Wow. So we just wanted to throw that one out.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yep.
So those are some good scriptures right there to let us know.
Oh, we got 50 scriptures that say the earth is built on pillars, that it does not move. It's on pillars. Do you believe that? When I first heard that, I didn't want to accept that because the brainwashing, you know, the social engineering. Then I started seeing it and started meeting other brothers that told me, Brother Pat, I'm telling you, the earth is flat. So wow, man. Wow, I never thought I was spinning. Maybe when I was drunk, I thought the earth was spinning. Me too.
Okay, so
it's okay, brother.
Let's go to Psalms 83.
Psalms 83.
Psalms 83.
Yeah, this is a great Psalms. Yeah, this is a great Psalms. This is for our people. This is for the people that we love, that we've been led to lead, to bring truth to, and move on, Josh.
So the book of Psalms 83.
Yeah. Psalms 83.
Let's start at the top.
Okay. Take your time getting it, everyone, because we have a lot of viewers and they need time to switch over to it. So, like I said,
excuse us.
I'm
going to share the screen.
Go ahead. We are real happy to be on again. We're blessed. We have a pastor and his wife that are truly coming to understanding, and we are totally blessed that we have been a part of their life in growing into this truth that's older than the Bible, just as old as the Bible.
Okay, got it. The book, hold on, so everyone on our viewers can follow us. So it's not to say we're imagining what we're reading. So,
Hold on. Send your donations, please, to josh.labio@gmail.com. Anything you can afford a month, and we sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Psalms, I said 83.
83. Psalms 83.
Psalms 83 from the top.
From the beginning. Ready? All right, drink the water.
Read.
Keep not thou silent, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo.
For what?
Lo, thine enemies.
What?
Thine enemies.
So the Most High have enemies. And how do these enemies here, right, let me highlight it. For thine enemies, right?
Right.
So how is these people enemies? Because they can't touch the Most High. You know how they're his enemies? Everybody out there? Because they wage unending war against the children of Israel.
That's right. They make a tumult.
A tumult is a noise.
Noise, a big noise. And they that hate thee.
They that what?
And they that love thee.
So these people hate the Most High.
Come on.
And as we're going to read down, they show their hatred by attacking and dividing the children of Israel.
That's right. And have lifted up the head.
Uh-huh.
They have taken crafty
They have
counsel.
done what?
Taken crafty counsel.
Okay, so
against thy people.
Let's show. I want to show them something here. Psalms 81 and verse 3. So they have taken crafty. What is the word? The word crafty means very aware or the deal subtly.
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
I'd like to throw witchcraft in there too. Crafty.
So the nations have dealt very craftily
Look at that.
with the children of Israel.
That's right.
Uh-huh. It also can mean to
against thy people.
Okay, so that's essentially what it means.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
So they have come together secretly.
Hidden in the earth.
Uh-huh. They have come together secretly with the intent of dividing the children of Israel. That's why Christ said, what did he say in the Bible? A nation that is divided against itself cannot stand.
That's right. That's right.
Psalms 83 and 3.
4. They have said, come.
So this is in their mindset.
Right.
They have said, do
their
what?
Counsels. Come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So let us do what?
Cut them off from being a nation.
So the whole world is set up for this one purpose.
Because of Jacob and Esau.
How can we keep this one group of people divided?
That the name of Israel.
That the name of who?
Israel.
Of African Americans.
Israel.
Of Jamaicans.
Israel.
Of Mexicans.
Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You'll find that
they are the tribes, what Josh just mentioned.
Now you'll find that these names are nowhere in the Bible. Why? Because the Most High called his people by tribes and by a name, Israel.
That's right.
When did they become those names I just named? When the white man chose, the American government chose to put false names upon them. That's why they've always changed.
That's right.
They went from being Negroes to colored to black to African American. It started as niggers. My bad, but it is. Look at how many times they've changed just one group of people's identity.
That's right.
Why? Because
again, Josh.
Because they're afraid of that one. Because Judah, the African American, is the leader of the nation.
I see, Pastor, what Josh just said. Mm-hmm. You are Judah, so if they keep you asleep, the other tribes aren't going to come. Mm-hmm. But if you wake up, you're going to rouse the other tribe. It's in the word, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to read it. We're going to read it.
4 verse 5.
Okay. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance.
Read.
For they have consulted together.
So wait a minute.
One consent.
The nations are together. They are unified.
All the governments know who you are.
Mm. They are together. They're
afraid of you.
They are together in one mindset.
That's right.
Read.
They are confederate against thee. They're together. Listen. The tabernacles of Edomites.
So the Edomites are your Bushes, your Trumps.
That's right.
Your
we can read
your Clintons.
It's in the Bible. And the Ishmaelites.
That's the heads of all the Islamic nations.
Of Moab.
Moab is Arab.
And the Hagarenes.
Those are southern Arabians.
Right.
That's
Gilgal.
Those are
and Ammon.
Those are also Ishmaelites or Arabs.
And what's this? Amalek.
Amalek is a Jewish people.
The white Jews. The Philistines.
Those are Arabs.
With the inhabitants of Tyre. Tyre. Wow.
So now let's stay in Psalms.
Okay.
Let's go to Psalms chapter. Let's go to Psalms 10.
All right.
We also have some books we want to show and read some stuff out of there.
Did you ever wonder, viewers? Wait, did you ever wonder why all this is in King David? You ever wonder?
Now we're going to bring it to your memory, so you remember this stuff. The Bible says precept must be upon precept.
That's right, line upon line. That's right. All right, Psalms 10. Where, Josh? Where do we start?
Psalms 10, verse 1.
Okay. Psalms 10, verse 1.
So stop.
So read along, everyone.
So we just read the nations, the mindset. Now we're going to go deeper, a little deeper into the mindset of these nations against the children of Israel. Psalms 10, verse 1.
Why standest thou afar off?
So that's what
Most High.
What a lot of the children of Israel feel deep down inside, like the Most High isn't with them, because all the suffering, all the torture, all the pain that they daily suffer, the unsurety of their life. They can be shot down by one of their own or a cop, and no one cares.
Any moment. So
why? What the Most High does.
Why hidest, right? Why you better believe he cares. Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
That's what, again, like I said, they feel like the Most High is not there for them.
The wicked in his pride.
The what?
The wicked.
Who is the wicked? That is Satan. And who is his main?
The government.
Who is his main people? Esau.
That's right. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Does persecute everybody.
The poor.
The poor. Who is the poor? The children of Israel, the Negroes and Latinos.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have. Wait, imagine. Hold on. Let me clarify that. We're not talking about people who made it in sports. They count too. They're under the curses of Deuteronomy. But what we're talking about is the normal black people in America are suffering in this country. They're on drugs. They're in prison. All right. They're killing each other. All right. And it's not supposed to be, because the government has separated them to force them to know not their power, who they really are.
So read verse 2 over that.
2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
So the same
they go to
war, and the same way they warred against the children of Israel,
they're going to be taken.
The Most High is going to turn it upon them.
Good news, right? For the wicked.
For the who?
For the wicked.
That's Esau.
Boasted of his heart's desire.
He always. Let's make America great again.
Wait, and blessed, watch this, the covenants whom the Most High honoreth. Now, hold on, I want to say something. Watch this, brother, pastor, and your wife, watch this. For the wicked boasted of his heart. You see the word heart? When you see the word heart in the Bible, it really means it's mind, because the heart is only a muscle that pumps blood. Right. You ever hear Christians say, "Oh, bless his heart"? You know, no. The heart is the mind, the spirit of the man is the mind. That controls what you do right and what you do wrong. You understand? Okay, so when you see that word heart, he's really talking about the mind. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
So Esau has set up his system to turn people away from the Bible. Why? Especially the children. Why? Because if the truth had been taught a long time ago, this nation would have been evaporated.
Josh, so in other words, I'm sorry.
No, go on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on.
All right, because everybody is anticipating, that knows the truth now, what's going to happen, and they're finding out what's going to happen soon in this country. And if you're not ready, if you don't get right and stop playing church and get back to your power and find out who you are, your roots, and not the movie roots. Right. That was all Muslims. the real roots, the people of the children of Israel. Go ahead, Josh.
So, read verse 4 over.
All right, 4. Ready? The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High.
That's why he's training and he's evolving a society that believes that people came from monkeys. Again, in a way, think about this though. Everyone knows that no one came from a monkey.
That's right.
But think about this. The movie The Planet of the Apes. What is that movie really about? About see, they use symbolisms, these wicked Jewish people that make these movies. What does the ape symbolize? The so-called black man. So what they're afraid of is a whole bunch of black people having their own civilization again. That's the whole understory behind the Planet of the Apes movies. That's why, see, they had to make it seem like it's in the future or it's some illusion. That's why they filmed it like they were traveling through space and they came upon this planet of black people living together peacefully.
Let me ask you a question, Josh.
That's why they called it apes, because they see black people as apes.
They'll do anything to put your people down and to belittle, especially the people in Hollywood, how they're dressing. Black people are not supposed to dress like that. They're supposed to be holy. You see what they're doing? Because of money. What? I'll wait for your question. Watch, Josh. The curses of Israel will not come off, but they can come.
The spiritual side of it.
You're right. See, listen, folks. If you're Hebrew and you know who you are tonight, the spiritual curses can come off you. First, you have to decide to come out of Babylon, America, Egypt, Rome. This is America. This is Babylon, Rome, and Egypt.
Come on.
If you come out of this nation and come out of religion, the curses will always be there until Yashayah comes to gather his people, which he's gathering now, right now, this great awakening. So we don't have long. We don't have long.
So
if that's not true, why do all the sports people, right, our black brothers have more injuries than anybody else? Their knees, their legs, right? Heart attacks, domestic problems. White people have domestic problems. How come they don't show them?
Because they want to paint a picture.
See, they want to paint a picture.
Like black people only have evil around them.
When you're the greatest people in the world.
And they show that. They display that openly, right? They show it through their athleticism.
Right.
But they want to use that to build their empire. They don't want, listen, it's like this.
Money.
A year back, about a year and a half ago, the national, I'll bring up an example of how these wicked Jewish people, these wicked Jewish people have set up the whole, even in sports, the whole dialogue is controlled. If anyone remembers Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback of the San Francisco. So the way
explain this right, brother.
Let's biblically.
Right.
What happened was they wanted to make what Colin Kaepernick did into a racial, when actually, honestly, let's think about this. Colin Kaepernick is a slave. What Colin Kaepernick should have said after he took the knee is, why are you all in my face about what happens to black people? This has been happened to us. So you know what? We don't need the white man. Let's set up our own league, football league, and make money for ourselves. Let's uplift the ghetto.
That's right.
Let's pour millions of dollars into the ghetto and build it up.
Hebrews and Negroes.
Right? But what he said a whole bunch of pretty much a whole bunch of set up dialogue, because Colin Kaepernick is a Freemason. He's a Boule. He's a devil worshiper. So I was looking at this like, why isn't this man saying, what's the obvious answer? Why? Because Satan controls him. And of course, the devil wants all the other slaves to support the NFL. That's why we had like Michael Bennett and Richard Sherman, Malcolm Jenkins of the Eagles, all these coons. That's what they are. They're puppets on the string for the white Jewish owner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, who is Jewish. All the leagues, think about this, all the leagues are owned by Jewish people. Right. Bud Selig, the Major League Baseball, Adam Silver, NBA, Roger Goodell, NFL, all Jewish. So who really runs sports? Jewish people do. Black people don't run anything.
The music entertainment too.
You have Lyle Cohen, Def Jam Records, Jerry Iovine of Interscope, and Jerry Heller of Death Row, all Jewish, right? Black people do not own nothing. Never. They won't allow black people to have anything. It's like this. Why can't they make, think about it like this. Why can't black people make their own table and have everybody come to them? Because they've been programmed and taught that they can't come together, so they have to depend on their oppressor to give them
yes, that's right.
an avenue to express themselves.
That's what they gotta come out of.
See, what happened was, let's break this down. We'll read verse 5 in a second. Okay. In the 80s, before the rap game happened, you had the first rap group that came out of California, NWA, right? With Ice Cube, Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, Eazy-E. Okay. What happened was these Jewish people found these poor, illiterate black people in the ghetto and used them to teach their message to the world through music. What's their message? Disrespect the black woman, make her into a whore. The thug look, all the black, the color of death. That's why all the rappers back in the day used to wear black. The black heavy leather jackets.
The chains.
The chains. What are chains? Yokes.
Mm-hmm.
They literally made these people, these early rappers, a picture of the Bible.
Wait, stop now. Watch, but watch. They made them famous, and then took their money. What a shame what they did to Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only the tip of the iceberg. What we found out, what they do to all the sports people that get out of sports early, they can't even find a job. That's why they have to go to the announcing.
So think about it. Then what happened was they had a meeting. All these white Jewish leaders of the rap industry in Jekyll Island in Georgia. Jekyll, Satan, Jekyll Island. So what happened was they all came together and said, you know, this rap music is a good tool. How can we evolve this into something that not only we can make money off of, but we can destroy the respect of black people across the board? Well, let's put drugs in it. Let's make it acceptable for young black men and women to store cocaine and crack and heroin and marijuana. Let's make it so it's acceptable for them to be whores. Prior to this, black people were together. Think about it. In the 80s, you had New Edition. You had, the music was completely different. You had Teddy Pendergrass and Marvin Gaye. You had Stevie Wonder. You had Lionel Richie.
Oh, good.
You had the Temptations, the Commodores, the Intruders. All these beautiful Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Even with Ray Charles, they were starting with it. The song "Hit the Road Jack." What's that song really saying? If a man doesn't have money, he's worthless. So that's was teaching even back then young black women to chase money. Because if you don't have no money, you don't belong here. Well, I agree a man should work and have money, but money doesn't make a man. The integrity and the spirit of a man makes a man. Yes, a man should work. Yes, a man should support his woman. Yes, a man should take care of his family. But money doesn't make a man.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided, you know what? Let's use NWA as the poster child of evil in the black community. So then in the 90s, what happened? You had Tupac, you had Biggie, you had Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. You had all these effeminate, that's where they started the sagging. How is it that rap music started all this negative? Because think about it, sagging didn't start with black people. Sagging started in prison. What is sagging a sign of? That a man is ready to be raped.
Wow.
It's a sign of homosexuality when a man sags his pants.
Oh, like when they show their whole pants?
Yeah.
The underwear, yeah.
Wow. I always wonder why they do that.
It started in prison.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the prison, since the Jewish people, watch this, research this. Who owns the prisons? The Goldman Sachs family of New York. The Lehman Brothers of New York.
That's right.
They owned all the prisons in America. Jewish people own an institution that has. Yeah. Read verse 5.
No. This is good. Listen.
I'll come back to
because
the point.
Listen, we have a family that we love that's with us tonight. And, and like us, they have no problem hearing the truth about their people. See, now, what I told Pastor, this is going to make you sorrowful now.
Now.
It's going to make you sorrowful for your people to reach them, but you're not going to get that sorry when you can't reach them. But you got to learn to, to let go. And if they don't want to hear the truth, just keep going. Keep going to your people.
Before you read, I just have one more thing to finish with my thought.
Go ahead.
So what happened was, that's why now, even in the early days of rap wasn't really like it was today. It was more intellectual. They were, although it was still controlled by the Jewish people, that's why they had to get more firm control. Because what were they talking about? Screw the police. Why? Because the police are killing brown people. That was a song that Ice Cube wrote about and he even mentioned Jewish people own the rap game. So they tried to sue him in the 80s for being anti-Semitic. When first of all, they're not Israelites. They're not Hebrew.
They're the synagogue of Satan. That's
So
all they are.
now we've seen from the 80s to now, about 30 years, rap started about actual reality. Now it's turned into whoring, drugs, violence.
It's just as bad as porn. It really is.
It's pretty much porn, clean porn.
That's right.
That you can watch on TV. Because what is BET? Booty Entertainment Television. Because that's all you see. If you want to see hoes, turn on BET.
That's true.
That's what.
But I'm sad about that, Josh, because
it's the reality.
The crony, the Most High's people, but they don't want to.
It's set up that way.
Wow.
So read verse 5. Okay. Psalms 10 and 5.
That was good. His ways are always grievous.
So, like we were saying, Esau's ways are always grievous.
I didn't finish 5. Wait.
Read.
Oh, sorry. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
Read.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
Read.
6, Josh. He has said in his mind, remember the heart, I shall not be moved.
So Esau has determined within his own counsel of his spirit that the way I've set up this system will always exist.
Until he comes.
Read.
For I shall never be in adversity.
Read.
His mouth is full of cursing.
So negativity, horror.
And deceit and fraud.
Deceit. Let's hold their heritage from them. And fraud. Wow. Let's use money and the deceitfulness of riches, Timothy, 1 Timothy 6, to destroy the vast majority of black people. Why? Because, like I just pointed out with the rap, look at what rap is today. Let's smoke some weed. Let's shoot some heroin. Let's snort some coke. Let's demean the black woman.
Well, that's been there. Wait, that's been there, but now it's gone past the envelope. Yeah, into.
Well, that's the way the Jewish people have set the whole rap.
Right.
They have this in their mind to turn especially the black woman, or mainly the black man, but the black woman into a whore. Right? That's why no one respects black women rarely today. They all look at them as breasts, thighs, and
because of the television
and hips.
Mm-hmm. And the movies.
When yes, it's natural for a man to desire a woman with a nice body, but it's deeper than the body.
Right, that's right.
That's just like a man is more than his money. A woman is more than her body.
That's right. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Read.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
So that's talking about their secret, their
synagogues,
their TVs, their TV stations, their executive boxes, their high
places
UN,
society. That's right.
The White House. So that is showing you
that's the secret.
Now think about this: if America really cared about the way black people are viewed, rap music would have been taken off of the shelf, because they would have said, "Wait a minute, this is demeaning a whole sector of our society, and it's turning the women." Now look at the rate of pregnancy, and it's gone up since the 80s in the black community. What's that to blame? The music. Why? Because when you have women that are half naked, gyrating and shaking, that makes a man start to view a woman in such a small perspective that is the only thing that matters. So when he impregnates that woman, he doesn't stay. Right. He goes into the next home.
That's right.
And then women wonder why do men use me? Why do why do men treat me like that? Because the way you act, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. It's like this. If you act like you're a dog, you're going to be one. If you act like a hoe, you're going to be treated like one.
That's true.
That's why so many black women have turned literally into hoes, and they strip. They have literally taken the picture of the rap video and played it out in their life. Now they have people throwing money at them as if their body is something you can. Their body is something that you can buy with money.
Come on, let's read. Okay.
Read.
All right, ready? He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. You're right, Josh. It's sad, brother. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Read.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
So that's what Esau does.
That's
read.
Right. Awesome, Josh. Go ahead, Mary.
He lies in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into the net. His net.
That encompasses everything.
That's right. He croucheth it and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his mind, the Most High hath forgotten.
Oh, he doesn't see what we're doing to his people.
Wow.
Read.
He hideth his face, he will never see it.
Let's go to Psalm 64. Psalm 64. One more chapter after this. A couple more verses, then we'll show them some.
Okay.
Psalm 64. Where was that?
You know, and Pastor, this is no big thing. No, this is a very important thing. But
Yes, it is.
I've witnessed to a lot of your brothers too. The Hebrews, and many of them agree about what Josh is talking about on TV.
Mm-hmm.
How these people are being used to portray themselves like that for money, and they don't want to hear it. They just want money. They don't care their heritage, where they're from, how holy. Remember we showed you the pictures the other day, how holy your people are, and how they're supposed to look.
Mm-hmm. Psalm 64 and 1.
64:1. Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
So again, we went into that in Psalms 10. How they lurk in the secret places, in the private places to destroy the children of Israel. Read.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows. Even bitter words.
Read.
That was more like the military and the American Indian, right, Josh? That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Look at that word perfect, Pastor.
The children of Israel.
You're perfect, brother. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Because they set up their world where they don't have to fear. They can just wage an open war
for now, right?
And not worry about it.
But their day's coming.
Read.
They encourage themselves in an evil manner.
So they come together and say, how can we keep building this evil against our brother Jacob? Read.
They consume.
They commune.
Oh, I'm sorry. They commune of laying snares privily.
So they have always done this. Read.
They say, who shall see them?
In other words, since we've set up an empire, how are we going to be discovered?
Wow. They search out iniquities.
They do what?
They search out sin, iniquities.
Read.
They accomplish a diligent search.
You don't even know the billions of dollars they spend a year for this one purpose. To search out iniquities. How?
Wow.
We use our archaeology to lie. We use our science to lie.
Come on.
Our school system
and look
to
at the
lie.
money they spend on it. Both the inward
thought of Esau at the top. Of everyone. Your president, your teachers, your principals is what?
And of them, the mind is deep.
Of your Christian religion is deeply evil.
That's right.
Set up against your people.
That's right.
Psalms 137. Psalms 137. We'll show them a little history.
137, Josh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, 137. Okay. Awesome. 137:7.
137:1.
Put it back. Make it more. Okay, put it back. What happened? Oh. Yeah, put it back. Yeah, put it back on somebody.
Psalms 137:1.
1? Okay, 137:1.
Uh-huh.
By the rivers of Babylon.
What are the rivers of Babylon? The inlet of New York, the Mississippi River, the inlet at Savannah, the inlet at Wilmington, North Carolina.
They are there. We sat down, yea, we wept. When we remember Zion.
So when they came here on slave ships, what did they do? They were weeping and crying on the slave ship. Why? Because think about this. Everyone knows the song Amazing Grace. Where did that song come from? Negroes, Israelites on the John Newton was the guy who was credited with writing the song. Where did he hear the melody of it? From slaves on a slave ship that he owned. And he was a Jewish.
Wow, he
stole that song from the children of Israel and made it some Christian song.
Wow. There we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion.
Read.
We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
That's why they're called weeping willows. Weeping willows.
Wow.
That's all in the Bible.
For there they that carried us away captive.
Who is they that carried themselves away captive? The Esau.
Captive required of us a song.
Where do you think Negro spirituals come from?
The weeping willows. And
Stop. Out there, everybody? Did you know that the book of Psalms is technically Negro spiritual?
It really is.
Because who wrote the book of Psalms? Primarily David and his musicians. What were they?
That's right.
So-called Negroes.
That's right.
So why do you think all the Negro spirituals are talking about the River Jordan, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot?
That's right.
Wade in the Water.
Wade in the Water. That's right.
Wade,
you know, I used to go to some of those churches, and those songs really touched me. They really did. Yeah.
In the water,
and I didn't know at the time. Yeah.
Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. I'm playing that before we close. Okay. I want you all to listen to the song, the words of that song.
And
why don't they play these songs in churches? I'm gonna show you why.
Wow. And they that wasted us.
They that what?
Wasted us.
On the slave plantation.
Required of us myrrh.
So these slave masters looked at your foreparents on the plantation and said, you know what? Sing us one of your songs of Zion while you're slaving for us, building our nation.
Wow.
So they even turned that into some kind of negative. Because
sing us one of the songs of Zion.
Because remember, they had all the records.
Mm-hmm.
They knew exactly who you were. Think about the movie Roots. And I'm glad my dad brought up Roots. Think about this. Now let's sit back and think. Because that's what we do here. We sit back, we ask questions, and we consider. Like the Bible says, consider the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. In the movie Roots, they showed a picture of how this happened. Remember when Toby or Kunta ran away the first time? They caught him.
Oh, they whipped him, yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm going into it.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, watch this. When they caught Kunta, what did they do?
We found out this.
They tied him up, and they were starting, and Fiddler was starting to try to get the massa not to beat him, right, because the massa would have killed him.
Right.
When they hung him up, what did they say? What is your name? He said Kunta, right? That's not what he said, really. He would have originally said, I am Judah, I am Benjamin, I am Levi, I am Ephraim. Until that whip got too heavy and he broke him. Why did they take Kunta and whip him? Because he resembles strength and dignity. And the slave master could not have that on his plantation because he would have lost all his slaves because they would have followed him. Because he kept that name, his identity within him. He wouldn't let the slave master eventually rob him of who he was.
Stop, I want to say something real quick so they will picture this. The movie Roots are Muslims. They're not Afro-Americans.
No, they're not. They're not Muslims.
No, you know what I mean? No, the Africans, whatever they were. They weren't. They were the real tribes of Judah. Who else?
Benjamin and Levi.
And Levi. So they portray, folks, listeners, a different portrait of who was being whipped. So you wouldn't catch who they really were.
No, don't forget. No, that's not so. That's not so much true. Why? Because remember, before the white man came into Africa, who came? Islam, and they enslaved them before. 400 or 500 years or 1,000 years before. So a lot of those Israelites were already observing another pagan god, Allah. So actually, that's not really a lie that they were, praying to Allah and doing all of that, because we have to remember, before the white man came and stole the children of Israel, the sub-Saharan slave trade happened under Islam.
So they weren't Hebrew though in the camps.
Yeah,
right. That's what I said. Right.
But the history behind that is true, because a lot of the Igbos and the Ashantis and the Mandingos, think about, he was a Mandingo. The Mandingos, all those names are actually Hebrew. See, what happened was, again, they took all your tribe.
So Kunta Kinte was a Hebrew name, Josh?
It wasn't Arab.
Right? Oh, right. Oh, I see. I got it.
Wow. So what happened was,
the movie was pretty true then.
So they were only trying to take his heritage, but he wouldn't have been saying Kunta so much as his actual identity.
Right.
So they had to whip, they had to force that identity out of you. And a lot of times they would have killed that person on a whipping post. They would have beat him to death because he would not give up his name. Now, Israelites, they give their name away as soon as someone throws money at them. Come be a part of the NFL. Come be a better slave. We'll give you a house. We'll give you a car. We'll make you a happy slave. As long as you do what we say. As soon as you don't, we'll find another slave to serve us. It's the same plantation, different time.
It really is.
Same system, really different year.
It's sad. It's really.
Read.
Wow. Okay. How shall we sing the Most High song in a strange land?
So we can't really sing to our God under oppression.
No, that's right. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. If I prefer not. Okay. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom.
Who is East? That's Esau, America.
In the day of Jerusalem.
So when they waged this war against your people, read.
Who said, raise it, even what to happened? The foundation thereof.
Matthew 20. Don't go there. Matthew 24. Read that. Everyone read Matthew 24 on your own time. Christ was with his disciples. Right? And we're also going to go into some. I want to show you the history of the Jewish people. Matthew 24. And I'll give you a synopsis of what I'm trying to bring out. Christ was with his disciples on the Temple Mount. Oh, actually on the Mount of Olives overlooking the temple. They said, Christ, tell us that the signs of your coming and the end of the age, meaning the end of Rome's rule. He said, when you shall not see one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. Speaking of when Rome came in and razed Jerusalem to the ground. So that shows us today that when we see people, well, they're not the Israelites anyway, when we see those white people in Israel at the Wailing Wall, you know what the Wailing Wall is? The Wailing Wall is the remains of Herod Antipas's palace. Right, I read that. Devil worshiper.
Yeah, it sure is.
So who are they worshiping at the Wailing Wall? The devil.
And those notes that they're putting in the wall?
Those are prayers to Satan.
Wow.
So I'll finish reading out.
Yeah.
O daughter of Babylon, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, which art to be destroyed, which art to be America, O America, who art to be destroyed.
Wow.
By who? Christ is going to destroy this place.
That's right.
Happy shall he be that taketh thy little ones and dasheth them against a stone.
You were happy when you did that.
Christ is going to be happy when he destroys it.
That's right.
That's
That's what they did to his people. I want to say this real quick too, Josh. Listen to this. The Most High does not forget his inheritance. He will never forget what people did to your people, Pastor, to the American Indian, to anyone who is a tribe of Israel. They're going to pay dearly when the rockets come, and they're going to come from all sides, and America's going to be destroyed. The Most High is going to put it in their minds to do his will.
So, everyone, listen. I'm going to read some quick things. I'm going to ask my dad to read something. And I want to close. I'll read something out of this. This is The Valley of the Dry Bones by Rudolph R. Windsor. I want you to listen to this. Now, if you're wondering what the Valley of the Dry Bones means in Ezekiel, who is the Valley of the Dry Bones anyway? The Valley of the Dry Bones is the so-called Negro.
That's right.
So all that resembled was the resurrection of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
That's happening right
the
now.
Gathering. That's right. Awesome, brother. Awesome.
So
Want me to read it?
this is The Valley of the Dry Bones by Rudolph R. Windsor.
You want me to read it?
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
There is one question often asked me. Were the ancient Israelites a white people in biblical times? The answer to this question is an absolute no. I have no doubt about my convictions, and no reason to lie. The Europeans had the reason to lie, to develop white supremacy, and lie about the truth. After they made it illegal for the black man to read during slavery times, this event took place when the whites prevented the blacks from defending themselves. They reinforced their lies by planting white pictures throughout the Bible, placing white pictures on religious calendars, and producing lily white television programs and religious movies. As a result of this insidious and overt deception, the modern generation, white and black, just assumes without the facts that the ancient Hebrews were white.
That's right.
Does the Bible identify definitely the color of the Israelites? This question is important because the Israelites are the main central figures of the Bible. I maintain that Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, the father of the Arabs, Moses, Solomon, Jeremiah, Daniel, Yashayah, and all the entire Israelite nation were a black people. Why? Because history tells us that the Israelites were not white.
That's why when you meet...
In fact, where did the term white or Caucasian come from? I'm about to read this.
Hold on, I want to say something. That's why when you meet people out there that try to tell you, well, Christ was a person of color. You see, wait, they'll always try to make it sound like he's light tan or, just got a suntan.
Babylon to Timbuktu. Now
then,
listen.
Wait, then they'll say because he lived in that part of the region of the world where the sun is hot. That's a lie. He was black, period. Right?
Right.
That's right. And that's something to be proud of.
I can find what I want. No, it's here.
You want water, Josh? You want more
Yes,
water?
please.
You guys want something to drink?
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
Josh, give me your glass. Give me your glass, Josh. Josh, give me your glass. Give me your glass. I got to get you a drink.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm trying to find.
Okay. You sure, Pastor? You want something? Want something? Okay. Well, I got your sister's thing, the bottle holder.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
If you ever see her again, make sure you take her.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, everybody, I want you to, again, I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Babylon to Timbuktu. Now listen to what these Europeans did and what they know.
What page?
Oh no, he's reading.
Page 21. In
No, tell them you have to just
get this, everybody. If you don't have this book online, get this on Amazon.
Yeah.
You need this information.
Tell them the name of it again, Josh.
Babylon to Timbuktu.
Babylon to Timbuktu.
Okay. During
It's really inexpensive.
dividing the world among color lines was the idea of that originated
Hey, Josh.
in the white supremacists in Europe. After the Renaissance, the Europeans did not have a great civilization immediately after the fall of Greece and Rome. During the Middle Ages, now why do they call it the Dark Ages? Because as we know, hold on. I'm about to prove it to you.
Right. When I was younger, I was taught that the Dark Ages mean there was trouble, deep trouble in Europe. No, it meant just the opposite. It was the dark people. They ruled the world. You had ruled the world at one time.
Okay.
And you're going to rule the world again.
Okay, so now everybody look at this. The whole face of Europe has changed. This is what the original kings of Europe looked like before the white man came and conquered it. See, they don't teach you this in your history class, do you? Do they? No, they don't. So if you look at the brother in the forefront, who is this? That is your authorizer of the King James Bible. Oh yes, King James was not white. King James was a Negro, a Hebrew Israelite, who faithfully translated the Hebrew and the Greek manuscripts into Hebrew, into the English language, fulfilling the prophecy in Isaiah, the 28th chapter. With a stammering lips and another tongue, I will speak to this people. King James was not white. King James is a black man. Look it up. It's all historically proven. Okay. During the Middle Ages, the black nations of Africa and Asia had the greatest political, economical, educational, and military influence in the world. Now, hold on.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
So, people don't even know this. Prior to the Renaissance, Europeans had no civilizations. They were killing one another.
That's right.
They were uncivilized. Yeah, uncivilized. Yeah, I can't say it.
Uncivilized.
Uncivilized.
You're trying to get a word to it. That's right.
Uncivil.
At this time, Europe existed in a state of darkness for 1,000 years. In the 17th century and later, Europeans began to emerge out of the slough of ignorance, and certain Germans and others convinced themselves as belonging to a superior race. Johann F. Blumenbach, a German philosopher, was the first to divide mankind amongst the basis of color. So nobody was black, nobody was white, nobody was European, nobody was Asian, nobody was Arab until a white man in the 17th century had the idea, wait a minute, how can we, divide people?
Mm-hmm.
Let's decide, let's make up color as a divider. Up until this time, everybody was still under their biblical name, racial names. Esau, the white man; Ishmael, the Arab; Ham, the African; the Israelite or the Negro; and Japheth for the Asiatic people. Those are the names originally that everybody on the earth was identified as: Esau, Ishmael, Israel, Ham, and Japheth. But let's keep reading. You learn when you read, people. You learn when you read and understand. So, Mr. Blumenbach, he was the first to divide humanity on the basis of skin color. Up to this time, no such attempts have been made. His classification set up color line to be the determinant of later generations. Mr. Blumenbach classified the 5 chief races of mankind: the Caucasian, or the white man; the Mongoloid, or the Japhetic man; the Ethiopian, or the Hamite; and the American, or the Israelite, the American Indians; and the Malayan, or the other Israelites in the South Sea Islands, according to Deuteronomy 33. Moreover, he considered the Caucasians to be the original race. Now, I'll close with, and I want my dad to read something out of this right fast. But let's think about this. We all know that it is an impossibility for white people to be the original race, because white people cannot produce anything other than white. So where did black people come from? They'll tell you apes. But we know biblically and historically that God created the world in Africa. Israel is a part of Africa.
That's right. The ground is all black in Africa.
Black no matter where you go.
So my God has to be black then.
The point of the matter is, when God created the land of Israel, the Garden of Eden is in Israel.
That's right. Well, it's
in Africa.
It's in Africa, yeah.
When God made, after the flood, what did we have? We had the division of the families of the earth from the sons of Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Shem became the father of the Negroes, or the Israelites, and the Arabs through Abraham, Ishmael, and also, if you want to say, the Edomites, because originally the Edomites looked like Negroes before they went into the mountains and became bleached white because the lack of melanin they had.
Right.
So again, as I said, you had the Edom, you had Ham, you had Shem, the father of Israel. You had Japheth, the father of the Asiatic people, which were black, and the Hamites, which are the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Canaanites, and Libyans. So, we just read that a white man decided, we have to hide the original races of man because we're going to enslave these people. What was happening during the 17th century? Transatlantic slave trade. Weird how these two events seem to coincide, isn't it? Why during the slave trade did the white man decide to change their races? Because he understood that slave children would be raised up on the plantations. And we can't have these slave children identifying races in the Bible. They can't know that there's Hamites and they're not Hamitic. They can't know that the Israelites and the Arabs come from them, from Abraham, who was a black Hebrew Israelite, who produced the Arab nation from Hagar, the Egyptian. They can't know that, wait a minute, if these people, they can't know that if the Africans are the Hamites and the Japhites are, who are we? Because we certainly ain't African, and we sure as heck ain't Asiatic. So who are we? We have to be Shemitic, because that's the only other classification that exists, right?
Yeah.
So by changing the races during the transatlantic slave trade, the white man set up the system where he could be supreme and everybody else would be able to come to him for education, for so-called spirituality. So we understand. The white man thought, we can't have these slaves knowing who Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We certainly can't have them knowing who Shem is, but we'll tell them they're a Hamitic. When we know Africans don't even like them. The Africans don't even identify with Negroes, because the Africans understand and know, wait a minute, these people ain't us. These people ain't Africans, because the Africans also did what? They had a hand in the transatlantic and the Arab slave trade. Why? Because Arabs and white people cannot run. And to catch a slave, you have to be able to run.
That's right.
So what they would do is
people.
They would take slaves off the plantation on the slave ships, so they had people to catch the slaves in Africa, in the land of Ham, right?
That's right.
Because they sure as heck wasn't going to chase the Negro, because they couldn't catch them. Hold on. I want my dad to read something out of this. What is the history?
You guys have the
Yeah, they have it.
oh, you have the book here?
No, we didn't bring it.
Oh, you didn't bring it?
No.
Hebrews to Negroes.
All right.
I want my dad to read the
Don't read the book.
history,
Open it. Keep it open.
the history of Jewish people. The Khazar Empire.
You calling you? All right. The Khazarian Empire conversion to Judaism. Around 740 AD, a man named King Barak, the first ruler of the Khazarian Empire, adopted the religion of the Pharisees and Sadducees, Judaism. The Khazars were a Turkish tribe of people who occupied the steppes of southern Russia, Eastern Europe, all the way down to the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains are between the Black Sea on the left and the Caspian Sea, aka Sea of the Khazars, on the right. The Caucasus Mountains is where we get the name Caucasians.
So the term white or Caucasian come from the Caucasus Mountains.
From originally, the Khazars spoke a dramatic Slavic Turkish language.
So wait a minute. So these people did not speak Turkish, and that's where the language of Yiddish came from.
You see how they took over? Instead of Hebrew, which they would later combine with their language to form Yiddish, like Jewish, Yiddish. During this time, their major religions were being preached across Europe and the world. Islam, in its early years, as it didn't exist until after 600 AD, Christianity with the Byzantine,
which came out of Rome
Empire, based out of Constantinople, Turkey, founded by Roman Emperor Constantine, way back in 330 AD. And Judaism, the religion teachings of the Pharisees,
which are Babylonian Satanism.
King Barak yeah.
So
You want to say something?
the
Pastor?
Khazars, wait, who are the Khazars? The Khazars come from the Caesars as well. These are Romans in reality. These are the same people who crucified the Messiah are claiming to be Israel in the land that doesn't belong to them.
Stop. Now watch all the Christians, the big churches that are telling their people to send money to Israel.
To support the devil.
You believe that, brother? King Balaam had devout religious leaders from each religion teach him about their religion. You all right, Josh?
Read.
King Balaam heard of all he needed to hear about all three major religions and decided to adopt a national religion for the Khazarian kingdom. He decided on Judaism, since Judaism shared the Torah, first 5 books of the Bible, just as the Muslims did and Christians did. He would teach them, he would then establish Judaism as the religion
or
of
Babylonian Talmudism.
That's right, the land. He had Jewish rabbis teach his kingdom how to follow Judaism traditions, laws, learn the Hebrew alphabet, and how to speak the language, which in those days was modern Aramaic, modern Hebrew. Back then, they still were not known as Jews, since the letter J didn't exist yet.
So the letter J did not come into existence until 1641.
That's right.
So there was no Jewish people. So the Khazars became the ancestors of what we know as Jewish people.
Right. 200 years later, in around 960 AD, a Jewish rabbi, Sephardic Jew by religion, conversion, and not blood, named Ahayah Shapat from Cordoba, am I saying that? Cordoba, Spain, heard that there was a Jewish nation with a Jewish ruler in Eastern Asia, Europe. By this time, the ruler of Khazaria was a man named King Joseph.
So now they started to take biblical names and attach it to themselves.
Right. Ahayah was a Jewish scholar. He also was.
That's good. Dad.
Okay. So you get the picture? What these Pharisees did?
So
wait. So now you know that these Pharisees, through the annal of time, brothers and sisters, on YouTube here today, had the power of the printing press and all these lies to inject words that don't belong to the Bible.
So I want to show you all some. We're going to play a song, then we'll go off. Hold on, where is it? There's a specific one I want.
You understand, brother and sister, the idolatry that's going on Sunday in the Christian church?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are they going to make it? They swear they're saved, they're not saved. They're breaking his laws, they're breaking his commandments. They're calling Christ a white man, an idolater.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And they say it don't matter. You believe it?
it's
hard to believe. I don't know how you can admit that. It don't matter. I know. It's sad. It is.
It truly is.
It is. It sends me. It does. When I meet them, I get a lot of good response when I talk to a lot of them. They seem like they're listening.
Yeah.
But in Endo said a lot of them, when you witness to them, it goes in one ear out the other.
it's just still in denial.
They love the oppressor. They love white people.
Money's calling. Hello
Hello,
there, my
everybody.
name is Anthony Airy, self-made internet millionaire.
In other words, now I became A field man. A field man doesn't go with the milk, goes with Christ, and it goes with the truth. The house man is the people you meet, the government, lies like Christianity. Yeah. No, well, I'm not going to say they're going to burn, but I will say this: that they have a sense. That's why we got to talk this. Now, where do you hear them?
In the water, in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Children all dressed in red in the water.
Now, I want you all to listen to these lyrics.
Ooh, those children all dressed in red. Must be the ones that Moses led. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Ooh, those children all dressed in white.
See, Hans? Go back to that picture. Go back.
Must be the ones get ready to hide. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Ooh, those children all.
Who's here? No, we're on the air. We're on the air. Yeah, it's not coming out, Pat. It's not coming out. All right, Pat.
Now, everybody, listen to this. See how these brothers are hung?
Yeah.
There it is, Pastor. You see how he was hung? Christ.
That's how Christ died.
Wow. That's how he died.
Hung by racist Roman soldiers.
That's why you need a computer and you need to
all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the ones get ready to hide. God's gonna trouble the water. In the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Ooh, those children all dressed in blue. God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the ones that made
it's hard to say that's the most High love.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Yeah, in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble.
One more song, everybody. Hold up. So you did everyone hear the lyrics to the song?
Yes.
Who are those dressed in red? They must be the ones that Moses led.
Wow.
Now we see why certain songs are not sung in church, because who did Moses lead out of the black people? Because they weren't white.
That's right.
Now this is a song that we haven't played in a while.
Movies.
Constantly in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Shalom. Yes. But you don't have to listen no more. You don't listen to the lies no more. Now you're coming into truth. Now you know the truth. You'd be surprised, though. There's a lot of people.
Now,
How they portrayed everything and just stripped it all away.
we haven't played this song in a while.
He allowed that to happen the Most High.
Brother Brown, young Beaver.
We're going to talk a little bit.
Everybody listen, this is one of our songs we used to play a lot.
Curse of our Lord, the real Jews and the Hebrews and the Hebrews you know it. You listen to your pastor because he went to school now seminary. But why he been back in the hood when the hood still look like a cemetery? Drop on, these brothers is worshiping dragons in church every Sunday so they can go to their Shalom. It's a hustle, it's a grind. You don't like every game and they just running the lines. So brother, don't book up and read it for yourself. Them people that your people put your book up on the shelf. Like the TVs and you search out my world. Like TVs and they looking for themselves. They working for Lucifer, but when I come, they flicker on me. I keep that Excalibur. Yeah, I do this for my people. I get travel for my people. So the Hebrew, they're my people. Then you know
Look at you still
See, they don't show you
listen to
how
this,
they really live
everybody.
and stuff.
They have you still living in slave quarters. They just call them the ghetto. Same thing.
Or low-income housing.
Ghetto. Slave quarters. Or like they used to call them on the plantation, nigger quarters.
But you were supposed to lead the world and everything. He's going to come back. He's going to come back.
It ain't on your side. You told me pass over what's in the book. How many times you show me say that we better keep this law? Do you even read the book? I know you took the list of law. It ain't rocket science. Ahayah is not the author of confusion. So we laid it out. We played it out. Now look at what we do. That's the food we eat. Check the label ingredients on the back to see it. Everything. It makes them fall. Looking up with them pursue it. That's game banging. Nobody killing us better than we do it. I smack. Brother, that's the disease. When you study those statistics, come back into me. Believe it, then we be back into Egypt again with shit from soul for fun. Breaking that same law and preachers teaching us it's done. And you know, and you know. They burn in the burn, yeah, that's the people. You know, you around me, you that is the Negroes. You know, for a man in the middle, because I need to keep going. You know, and everything that ain't lost, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. Colossians 3, verse 9. Why not to one another? So that you have put out the old man with his deeds. And put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge of the image of the one that created him. Don't try to blow my head up. Oh no, all praise to Ahayah, unless you a weirdo. If you're talking to me, better be spiritual. I don't really get too much in the physical. If it ain't spiritual, Brother Brian's finna go. Shake the dust off my feet like Luke 9-0, like Matt 10 show. How Mark 6 go. These are called precepts. Write them down, now you know. I know what the word I'll accept no more. In the take none less when I step to the door. Sound like a bunch of rats, how you know that chatter when they ask what I want. I just want to live forever. So I walk like that and I talk like that. Anytime we engage, I come off like that. This is who Yashayah made you to get used to it. Talking about I need to change what you think I'm doing, huh? If it's your fix, put it on, put it on.
wear it, put it on. If the shoe fits, put it on.
Wear it, put it on. If the shoe fits, put it on.
Where are we? So we all.
All right, so let's talk about something. Let's go so we can talk about that.
So we understand the truth. So it's plain, like we say. It is what it is. You can't deny what the scriptures say.
That's
you
right.
can get around it. You can try to go around it. You can use your feelings and your emotions, but it is what it is. Who are the Israelites? The children of Israel, the Negroes, and the Latinos, and the Native Americans, and the
South
Seminole
America.
Indians,
That's right.
and
Jamaica,
the South Sea Island people,
Hawaii,
Samoa, and the Fiji Islands.
American
All
Indians,
these people,
America.
all the indigenous people that make up are the 12 tribes of Israel.
And they're gathering now.
You can try to run from it. You can try to deny it. You can try to get around it. Christ is a black man. What do you mean he's black? The Bible says he's black. He has woolly hair, skin like bronze. Revelations 1, 13 through 15. Daniel's 10, chapter 10, 5, and 6.
Let me say something before we close too. Anybody that's in a Sunday pagan Babylon worship on Sunday, worshiping a white idolatry Christ, that's what you're committing, idolatry. And you're going to answer for it.
Daniel 10 and 6. What does that say? Y'all have it? If you want, yeah, that's scripture. Read it, Brother Fred. Daniel 10, verse 6. Let's see what Christ looks like in the Bible. Is he white? I don't think he is.
That was him before. You better stay away.
So,
be careful. Be on your guard. Devil roams around.
Daniel 6.
Daniel 6.
No, Daniel 10, 6.
Oh, Daniel 10, 6. Yes, sir.
His body also was like the barrel, and his face has the appearance of lightning.
That's Christ. Read.
And his eyes as lamps of fire. And his arms and his feet like in color.
Like in what?
Color.
No, we don't have any color.
Color.
To read?
To polish brass.
What is polished brass? The same thing we read in Revelation.
See that doorknob?
Burnt brass.
See that door handle?
That's polished brass.
That's polished brass.
So we clearly understand what the Bible says about the appearance of the Messiah.
That's right.
Again, as we said before we open, and I want to close. I want to throw this last little nugget out. Why would they have to change the color of Christ? Because they understood that we can't make a slave serve us if God looks like him. So we have to put these white images in front of these slaves so they think God is us. So they'll ignore how badly we treat them. They'll even defend us. They'll fight for us. They will do anything we say as long as they believe that God looks like me, a white man. But God isn't white.
That's loving the oppressor.
God isn't white.
Well, it's all going to change soon.
In the Genesis chapter 1 tells us that God made Adam and Eve in his image. And then God went into the earth and picked up brown, black dirt.
That's right.
Write this down.
Come on.
Write it down, everybody. Genesis 2 and 7 tells us
that's right.
wait a
He
minute.
formed Adam from the
Listen to
dust.
the verbiage of this. God said, "Let us make man or mankind in our image." What does image mean? To look like us.
the person he's.
To look like God.
That's right.
So what people look like God?
Mm-hmm.
White people don't resemble, because white people are red.
That's right.
This, hold on. This is white. This is not.
What,
this is
and this
not.
is what God looks like.
This is red. So technically, there's no such thing as a white man.
That's right.
Because all white people are red. That's why they call them rednecks. Because you can see the blood through their skin. No one's black, really, because that's black.
That's right. Okay, let's go.
Hebrews are a shade of brown. So with that said, again,
and we love you.
we say shalom.
Yeah.
And all praises to Ahayah,
All praise.
bahashem, Yashayah, wa kudash. And be at peace until the Shabbat.